Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my CD recap. Happy New Year. Technically, this is not planned. I was really going to do this like tomorrow, but our scheduled review of R. Kelly's Love Letter got rescheduled for tomorrow night. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna make it up for you. I might do one or two videos of this. So I'm gonna knock out all of these CDs from this shelf and stuff like that. As y'all can see, I'm gonna continue off with the Madonna part. So let's get this shit started. Track number, album number one, the the internet. Ego Death, 2015, very dope album. The internet affiliated with Odd Future and stuff like that. Very dope album. In my opinion, the best album, known for songs like Girl and Under Control. This was Grammy nominated. J. Cole with the fucking Born Sinner album. This came out in 2013. Very dope album. Excuse me. Very dope album. With this album, it came out like right after the fucking Cold World album, which Cold World was a cool album, but a lot of fans did not like it because it kind of took the more commercial approach with some of his songs. Well, I have to talk about that album one day to keep it a buck with y'all. But this album was like a lot more darker. Known for something like Let Nas Down, which there's actually a story with that where Nas actually hit J. Cole up saying he was disappointed in the fucking role model, not the role model song, workout song, Illuminati, Power Trip, Forbidden Fruit with Kendrick, very dope song right there. Love the album. And then we have J. Cole's best album, in my opinion, Forest Hills Drive. Excuse me, 2014, Forest Hills Drive and stuff like that. Um, this was released in 2014, as y'all can see. This was the first hip hop album to go platinum without no features. Known for songs like Tailored to Cities, Fire Squad, Hello. Very dope album. And then, forgive me for this one, but I got J. Cole with the fucking Hood Hop album, which came out in 2004. This came out part of a CD lot, so don't judge me. This is not something I would usually listen to. He was known for that song Tipsy. Yeah, man. Then we're gonna go to Gary, Indiana, with the Jacksons. This came out in 1976. This is the first album that they done after they left Motown. Gamble and the Hub produced. Randy Jackson came. Jermaine left. Very dope album. I kind of feel like this album kind of gets swept under the rug, kind of gets underrated a few times. I know Enjoy Yourself, Good Times, love that track. Show You the Way to Go. Definitely a very dope album. Very classic 70s soul. Then we got the Jacksons with Destiny. Very dope album. This came out in 78. They took full creative control with this album. My opinion is either this album or the Triumph album. That's my favorite album from the Jackson 5. I know this might be sacrilegious, but I kind of prefer the latter period, like from like 76 to maybe 81. That's my favorite period from them. I mean, I love and respect the excuse me, the Motown period, like the ABC, the Diana Ross, Possessor Jacksons, the Looking Through the Window. But to me, when they did shit like Blame It on the Boogie and Shake Your Body Down to the Ground, that was my shit, man. Like, yeah, and yes, this is the disco album, but this is probably my favorite disco album. Like, this is disco done right. Then we got the Jacksons live album in 1981. A must have in your collection. This is recorded during, I want to say, like the Triumph era, Triumph tour and stuff like that. Yeah, man. This is actually the 1987 CD reissue. Very dope. Out of print, if I'm not mistaken. Well, actually, no, because I think I've seen a few copies in Barnes and Noble. I think they still have a few copies laying around. But then we got Miss Jackson, If You're Nasty. Janet Jackson with the Janet Period album that came out in 1993 on Version. A must have in your collection. This is a dope album. Possibly my favorite album from Janet. I don't know. Her output from 86 to 97 are my favorites and stuff like that. I mean, you know what? I would actually include All For You. I would include that album too. So, yeah, man. Known for songs like That's the Way Love Goes. Um, The Body That Loves You. I can't even see the track listing with this fucking track. I mean, yeah, man. Y'all should know the cover came from an infamous Rolling Stones like cover and stuff like, which I need to get my hands on that issue. And then you got Janet Jackson with the Velvet Rope that came out in 1997. In my opinion, very dope album. I kind of prefer this over the Janet Period album. Um, this came out when a time when she was going through a lot around this period. Like she was going through like depression and body image issues and stuff like that. So she had like a more stripped down deal with this album and stuff like that. This was known for songs like Got Till It's Gone, Go Deep, Free Zone. Very dope track. I mean, this is probably her most darkest album, in my opinion. Like even more darker than fucking Rhythm Nation on times and stuff like that. So yeah, must have in your collection. Then speaking of All For You, got the All For You joint. This came out in 2001. Very dope album. I have to be real. I kind of slept on this album growing up, cause growing up I was always into like the 86 to 97 output, like the Control. Like I just love them, those hard hitting. But I felt like this album, she kind of went a bit more pop. I don't want to say pop because she's always been pop, but it had more emphasis on pop. But now re-listening to it, I definitely love this album. Like probably like her most sexual, among her most sexual album. Like Doesn't Really Matter. Son of a Gun. Would You Mind? Must have in your collection. Then we got the underrated, in my opinion, Demeter Joe. This came out in 2004. Yeah, this came out the same year that that Super Bowl halftime show controversy. Y'all should know about that. Happened and stuff like that. So yeah, man. Other than that, in my opinion, this is a very underrated album. We have to do a review on this one. I feel like this album does not really get its props. I mean, it's not among like I'm not saying it's touching 86 to 01, but it definitely deserves like some mention, like R&B Junkie, I Want You, My Baby with Kanye and stuff like that. So I fuck with this album. Then we got Michael Jackson with the Off the Wall album. This came out in '79. Classic, dope album. One of my favorite albums of all time. One of my favorite MJ albums. I mean, technically the first collaboration with him and Quincy. This was known for songs like "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." She's Out of My Life. I Can't Help It. I mean, what else can I say? Then we got this album right here, Thriller. Very dope album. Again, another classic. The album that broke down barriers for like race and music. Known for singles like Billie Jean. Baby Be Mine was a song. Human Nature. Love that track. This album right here is a timeless album. Must have in your collection. Yeah, man. And then we're gonna get into the Bad album in 1987. This album right here, a very good album. This came out 5 years after Thriller. Known for songs like I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Man in the Mirror. This was pretty much the album where Michael Jackson took more risk with his songwriting. I loved it. Must have in your collection. Then we get Blood on the Dance Floor. This is the remix album to the History album. Um, I'm just gonna be honest. I kind of prefer the new songs like Morphine, Superfly Sister over the remixes. And the thing about it, I was kind of disappointed because they didn't have the the Scream remix with Tretch. Come on, man, that remix was fire. I mean, I understand he was trying to go for that more industrial sound, but still, if he would have done like an EP with those new songs, like then I could have like preferred it better. But yeah, I'm just grateful I got this album because albums kind of rare these days. I mean, it's kind of rare these days. Fuck it. Then I got Bob James with the Genie, aka the Taxi soundtrack. A must have in your collection. Um, y'all should know how I feel about Taxi. Very dope show. I mean, classic show. So I had to hunt down the soundtrack, the score. This was really like the first show I really paid attention to, like the score and the music. I mean, definitely a very nice album if you want to have like a nice drive to. I mean, yeah, man, classic. We got Rick James with Garden of Love. Excuse me, Come Get It. Very first album, must have in your collection, funk masterpiece. Revived Motown, known for songs like Mary Jane, You and I mean, classic. Then we got Garden of Love, and this came out in 1980. My personal favorite Rick James album, believe it or not. This is when he kind of went more soulful. Um, One thing I loved about this album, it definitely had like more of an island feel to it and stuff like that, like Getting It On in the Sunshine, Summer Love. This album gets hated on by a lot of Rick James heads, but I personally love it. I feel like my favorite albums are the Garden of Love album and the Busting Out the L7 album. Must have in your math collection. His discography is very hard to come by, unless you get like the complete Motown collection that they have of like, I want to say all of his albums, including Glow, because Glow never really got a single CD release. So then we got Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. This came out in 1996. I mean, classic. In my opinion, his best album, Hungry as Hell. I mean, this is actually the reissue. It's not the OG copy because it's the, you can tell because I feel like with these two circles and stuff like that, plus you got like the Can't Knock the Hustle Fool's Paradise remix. This is when Rockefeller was under Priority Records. Known for songs like Can I Live, Feeling It, Dead Presidents 2. I mean, this is a hip hop classic. This is a top 10 hip hop album. And then we have the criminally underrated In My Lifetime Volume 1. This came out in 97. This was a very stylistic change in comparison to Reasonable Doubt, if you ask me, in terms of production, because he kind of went for that more like glossier production, was like, Puffy was executive producing this album. This wasn't. I actually liked this album. Besides two tracks, I feel like if they would have taken out the two track, it would have been maybe a classic or near classic. But known for songs like You Must Love Me. Oh my God, that's a very cold ass track. Known for songs like Friend or Foe 98, Who You With Too. Yeah, this is what Jay-Z, one of my favorite Jay-Z albums, believe it or not. Then we have Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. When I first heard this album, I really did not like this album. But this was an album I never understood why the fans loved it. But now growing up, it kind of grew on me a little bit. This was, again, another dope J album. Like, I would even call it a classic album. I know a lot of people call it a classic. I would call it that too. To this day, it's still his best-selling album. Like, Hard Knock Life was like his breakthrough song. That Annie sample, like, shout out to like DJ Mark, the 45 King. You got Can I Get a, which kind of broke through Ja Rule and shit. Money Cash Holes featuring DMX, which y'all should know about that track. That started the beef with him and Prodigy with when JC said New York hasn't been soft since Snoop crushed the buildings and shit. So y'all should know about that. Very dope album. Then we got Volume 3, The Life and Times of Sean Carter. This album was okay. It is not my favorite Jay album. Probably his weakest album in the 90s, in my opinion. I know a lot of Jay fans like this album, but it didn't. I feel like it didn't know what it wanted to be. It wanted to be a commercial. I want to be a street album. Like in comparison, like to Volume 2, this album was really balanced that well. I mean, I do like songs like Dope Man. I like the Snoopy track with Juvenile, which, yeah, man, that song right there, that one and the Hard remix really broke Juvenile to the East Coast and shit. Yeah, must have in your collection be a J fan and stuff like that. So then 1 year later, you got the Dynasty album and stuff like that. Very dope album. Um, this album and stuff like that was originally supposed to have been like a compilation for Rockefeller, but they thought like with the Jay-Z album it would be marketed more well. I don't know. It could. I personally felt like if it was a Rockefeller compilation, it would have probably done some damage because hell, you had Rough Riders doing compilation, you had Murder Inc. doing compilation, so why not? But regardless, it's still a very good album. I mean, I love songs like Change the Game. You know, what's that one track? 1-900 Hustler. This is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I never cared for the "I Just Wanna Love You" song. I never cared for that song. I know that's one of Jay's biggest songs, but it's Pharrell with his James Brown impression. I just was not fucking with. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. And definitely if you guys like this album, I would definitely check out the Streets is Watching soundtrack, which I would definitely talk about that one day because I got that under various artists and shit. And then we got The Blueprint, a must have in your collection. Classic album on Jay-Z. Probably my second favorite Jay album. Yeah, this came out at the height of the Jay and Nas beef. You know, this has songs like Takeover, Ace to the Izzo, which that beat was originally supposed to have been for Cameron, which a lot of people feel like it kind of started the beef between him and Jay-Z. Um, Girls, 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 which that beat was originally supposed to have been for Ghostface, which I can definitely have seen Ghost rock that on like the Blueprint Bulletproof Wallets album and shit. So yeah. Then we got the Unplugged album, which came out also in 2001. This I kind of consider this a collaboration between him and the Roots. Again, a very dope album and stuff like that. I really got this for the hidden track, the people talking track. Love that track and stuff like that. I would definitely check out the version of Song Cry, the Jigga What Jigga Who, the Takeover. Wait, they're playing Shook Ones and he played Shook Ones. And I think he played New York State of Mind when he was listening to them. Yeah, classic album, classic live album, in my opinion. Then the criminally underrated American Gangster, very dope album. This came out around the time of the movie. It's not a soundtrack. It's his own version. Like, okay, but he was inspired by it. But at the same time, this is a very dope album. Blue Magic, Sweet, Party Life. This is the closest you'll ever get to a Reasonable Doubt 2. I kid you not. This piece of shit. The Blueprint 3. The album that makes me appreciate Blueprint 2. But yeah, this was not a good album. He only picked the right singles. Which songs I like? What We Talking About, Death of Autotune, on to the next one. Majority of the time I really do not care for. Should have never ever called it Blueprint 3. Then we got the 444 album. This came out in 2017. Very dope album, in my opinion. I know a lot of fans don't like this because, like, you know, he's talking about some, like, it's more like a concept album. It's something that they would not expect from Jay. It's pretty much his answer to Beyonce's Lemonade. You know, this has songs like Bam, Family Feud. Yeah, I would definitely give this album a chance. Then we got Wyclef Jean with the Carnival. The only Wyclef album you should really get, in my opinion. This is a very dope album known for songs like Stay Alive, Guantanamera, Bubble Goose, Gone Till November. Yeah, man. Only Wyclef album I really have in my collection. Jeru the Damager, Sunrises in the East. Yeah, very, very, very dope album. This album to me is DJ Premier's masterpiece. Every song on this album knocks, like Ain't the Devil Happy, Come Clean, The Bitches, like My Mind Spray. Very dope album. I need to get more of his albums. That's the only album I have in his collection. And then we got Jodeci with Diary of a Madman, 1993. One of the greatest R&B albums in my opinion. Like, this album is such a timeless piece of metal. Like, this was way ahead of its time in terms of production. Like, Devontae, please go back to this style of production, man. Like do some of the shit, man. Cause that recent Jodeci album that came out, I want to say like 2013, 14. I don't know. It was not really what I expected, but yeah, man. This album has known for songs like What About Us, Ride and Slide, In the Meanwhile. Like, this was a very dope album. My favorite R&B album of '93, in my opinion. Then we got The Show, The After Party, The Hotel. First of all, dope title. This came out in '95. Very dope album. My opinion is not touching Diary of a Madman, but I feel like the thing that really fucked this album up was the skits. That's what really fucked this album, because I think they tried to go for the concept album, but the skits were pretty in my opinion. Some skits was okay. I have to re-listen to this album, actually. Known for songs like Freaking You, Bring On the Funk. Damn, I can't read the track list in this set. What's that one track? Love You for Life. Yeah, this is a very dope track. The dope album. Yeah, '95 was a dope year for R&B and stuff. Then we got Billy Joel, which, you know what, I actually might cut this video short. I might stop after I talk about Coogee Rap shit. Fuck it. Then we got Billy Joel with the 52nd Street. This came out in '79. Dope album, in my opinion. Maybe my favorite album, even better than The Stranger, because he kind of went more jazzy with this one. Big Shot, Zanzibar, Half a Mile Away. Like, even the title track knocked and stuff. So this is a very dope album. Like, this has that strong New York feel to it. It has a very strong New York feel. Then we got John B with the Cool Relax album and stuff like that. This came out in 1997. Yeah, '97. R&B classic. John B, definitely one of the most slept on singers in my opinion. I mean, hold on, let me remove this price tag. This has actually been driving me nuts. Stop it. Fuck it. Yeah, this is like some smooth central R&B. I'm known for songs like Are You Still Down, which he did with Pac and stuff like that. They Don't Know, which actually was the first song I heard from him. Ain't Going Out. Yeah, man. I might actually do some samples of this one to keep it a buck with you. So, yeah, this is John B, Cool Relax. This came out in '95. Then we got the man Quincy Jones with The Dude, released in 1981. Very dope album. Love this album. This was a very strong album from him and stuff like that. Introduced us to James Ingram, known for songs like Just Once, 100 Ways. Like this, Quincy Jones, man. You know how the deal with him and shit. He's known for more than Michael Jackson's producer and shit. Then we got fucking Back on the Block, which came out in '89. My favorite album from Quincy Jones. Like, this album right here is definitely like bridge the gap between R&B and hip hop and jazz. Known for songs like Secret Garden, the title track, the cover version of "I'll Be Good to You." Very dope album. I love this shit. Then we got Janis Joplin, her posthumous album Pearl, which came out in '71. Very dope album, very bluesy, known for songs like Me and My Bobby McGee, Mercedes Benz, Cry Baby. Yeah, man, she really came onto her own with this album. It's a shame she dies at her peak, in my opinion. Junior Mafia, Conspiracy, just came out in 1995. Must have in your collection for all my Biggie fans. Definitely a very dope album. It introduced us to like C's and Lil Kim. Known for songs like Get Money, I Need You Tonight, Backstabbers, Oh My Lord. A must have in your collection. And then we got Just Ice with Cool and Deadly, which came out in '87. Dope album. This was the first time him and Karis want to work together. Known for songs like Freedom of Speech, Going Way Back, On the Strength. Yeah, very, very dope album. Classic album. And then we got Alicia Keys. With the Diary of Alicia Keys, came out in '03. Classic album. My favorite Alicia Keys album, possibly. Her first two albums are my favorite. Known for songs like Diary, If I Ain't Got You, Slow Down. Yeah, this is a very big album back in '03 and stuff like that. Then we got The Intelligent Hoodlum, aka Tragedy Khadafi. This was back when he was in Cold Challenge back in 1990. Very dope album in my opinion. Yeah, this album definitely, Large Professor definitely did the majority of this album. Even though the credits say Marley Marl. I mean, Marley Marl, he did some shit. Like, he did more of the harder beats, but Professor did like more of like the smoother melodic beats and stuff like that. Known for songs like Keep Striving, Arrest the President, Black and Proud. My personal favorite track is Arrest the President and even the title track. Very dope album. I need to get my hands on his second album, but that shit goes for a lot of money. Then we got Ghostface Killer with Iron Man. This came out in 1996. This is the OG version. Yeah, this does not even have the cover and stuff like that. Excuse that. Yeah, you can tell it's the OG version because it has a song on Soul Controller with the no. I don't know. It's either that one or After the Smoke because I have to look it up and stuff. But Wu-Tang Classic is a hip hop classic. Winter Wars, Kamei, Daytona 500, Faster Blade. Very dope album. I love this shit. Then we have Supreme Clientele. This came out in 2000. This came out after 4 years when he was in Africa. And again, another dope album, another classic album. My second favorite Ghost album from him. I don't know. It's either this album as my favorite or Iron Man. That's how consistent his discography is and shit. Known for songs like Nutmeg, Stay True, Apollo Kids, Shashella Ghost, like a must have in your collection. All my Wu Tang fans have that album highly in their list. Then you have Bulletproof Wallets. This came out in 2001. In my opinion, a very underrated album where like pretty much, he went for that more R&B sound. This album was bootleg. They had to redo the album because of sample clearances and shit. So I kind of prefer the original version, but still, No, I like songs like Forest and Never Be the Same Again, Maxine. Yeah, man. Excuse me. All right. Okay, like I said before, I'm gonna finish off the Ghostface and I'm gonna finish off the Kool G raps. Yeah. All right. Well, that wasn't unexpected, but then we got Ghostface Killer with Fish Scale. This came out in '06. Very dope album. This album was known for songs like what's the song? What's the song? What's the song? What's the song? Back Like That. 9 Million Brothers. Jellyfish. Yeah, I fucking love this album. Like, this is definitely one of my favorite Louder Woods albums. Then we got the legendary 12 Reasons to Die. Very dope album. Yeah, man, this came out 2013. Yeah, 2013. Oh wow. Um, I remember when I first heard the track Rise of the Black Suits, man. That was what really made me want to get the album. It definitely has like a refined sound of like the 36 chamber sound in my opinion. Him and Adrian Hughes, man, just definitely a match made in heaven. Then we got the Sour Soul album, which came out in 2015. This is when he was working with the Canadian band Bad Bad Not Good. Very solid album. I feel like this does not get really talked about a lot. I definitely love the tracks like Sour Soul, Tones Rap. Yeah, man. Ghostface always, man. He always has an interesting discography. All right, the last artist we're going to talk about, Kool G Rap. Wanted Dead or Alive. It came out in 1990. Classic album. My favorite Kool G Rap album, period. This was just like mafioso rap, like the beginning of the whole mafioso rap and stuff like that. You know, it has songs like Race Racism, Money in the Bank, Talk Like Sex. Oh my God. I mean, this was a very dope album. Like, so grateful I got this fucking album. Then we got the legendary Live and Let Die. This came out in 1992. A legendary album. This controversial album cover had two white motherfuckers getting hanged and shit like that and then robbing a bank. Every fucking song on this was a story, man. Like, this was some cinematic shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, living just from the title track, Live and Let Die, all the way to Crime Pays. I love that ooh ba da 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 da. Like, definitely some real ass shit right here. This is a very dope album. Sir Jinx definitely did his thing with the production. Like, you can just picture Ice Cube on a majority of these beats and stuff, man. Oh, wrong one. Then he went solo and he did the 456 album. Very dope album. This was the last album that was on Cold Chillin'. Known for songs like Fast Life with Nas, Taking a War, Blowing Up in the World. Very dope album. Also, for all my Kool G Rap fans, also look for that fucking compilation, like the Rated Triple X compilation. You will not regret it. Then we got Roots of Evil, which came out in '98. A must-have in your collection of legendary album. This was like a straight-up concept album, stuff like that. Known for songs like Home Sweet Home, Thug's Love Story, Hitman's Diary. Very dope album. Introduced us to Papoose too. And the last album that we're going to talk about is the Giacana Story, which came out in 2002. This album went through a lot, especially, you know, they had to redo the album, I think, because like sample clearances and shit. And, you know, he was going through like a lot of label issues around this time. But this album was okay. I like song like, you know, what's that one track? My Life, I like that one. The Streets, Gangsta Gangsta. This album was pretty okay. Not really my favorite Coogee rap album, but something in it for everybody. And yeah, I'm gonna cut it short because I'm about to get into like 30 minutes. Plus, I'm tired a little bit. But yeah, I'll just do this stack. Possibly like later on this week or maybe even tomorrow. But thank y'all so much for watching. Hopefully, you guys have a good night. Peace.